Today's kind of a big day, if you ask me. If you guys didn't know, the Brawl Cup has been airing the last few days, and it's about to start right now for the third day in a row. And every single day, there's been a significant sneak peek for new content coming out here very, very soon. What they've decided to hone in on is the brand new game mode that's coming out here very soon, the Brawl Arena. Now, as to when this should be coming out, really all that we know from the Brawl Talk is that it's going to be coming out in this June season coming out, so the next season of the Brawl Pass. From what I've seen so far, it seems like there's a good amount of potential, and I think it's going to be a pretty dang fun game mode. So why don't we hop into it we have Zeta Division versus Loud on the very first day of Brawl Cup. But hopping into the very first game here, honestly, from what I first saw in the Brawl Talk, the small amount of gameplay that we got, it was a little bit on the confusing side of things just because it was very hectic. But from watching a few matches here the last couple days, the best way to go about it, or the best way to understand it, is it's very experience based. And if you have any idea like what League of Legends is, that type of gameplay style, that's kind of what we're dealing with here, where we have lanes on the left and right, and then a middle being like your jungle. So you want a jungle brawler, and then two brawlers that are good at taking down like spawners, like brawler bots that spawn in that give experience. But as you can see over here on the left, Zeta's team is Charlie, Amber, and Melody, and then Loud's team is Kenji, Penny, and Juju. And from what I was saying before, bro, I think Juju is going to be phenomenal in this mode, and Penny is going to be a monster, especially for like taking down the robots, right? Because you get experience for that. So as you can see above their head, you can see the experience that they're gaining, and you get experience for taking down these robots in the mid, and then of course dealing damage to those robots, or killing, I should say, taking down units on the right. And then every single lane has one tower that defends their like nexus, if you want to call it that, from like League of Legends. But as you can see, they're leveling up here slowly. The levels mean everything. As you level up, your health and damage go up, and I believe when you level up, your robots in lane level up as well. And just a few other things, I think the maximum level is 15, level 15. So it's all about power farming. Yeah, you can go for kills and stuff like that, and I believe you get a small amount of experience, but a lot of this is just about farming and trying to get stronger and stronger as a team. So as you can see over there, Loud's team is doing a little bit better with experience, even though the Kenji is at 2. Not doing a good job at farming. I think the Kenji was more so just going for kills, but the other two are just doing fine. And it's this kind of slow grind game. Whoever can push further and further, and whoever can take down that tower, the very first tower, mainly has a good hold over the game, right? And then we have to wait for the final boss to spawn, the biggest source of XP that everyone needs to do their best to take down, which is like the kaiju that spawns in the middle. So it's just this like power farming game, and I don't know, it kind of feels interesting from what I'm seeing so far, and you guys will have to let me know what you're thinking. Whenever it comes to these new game modes that are like generally hype, and I think that everyone is going to have like a good time with, it's just like really exciting to figure out like who is going to be insane in the game mode. All right, so now rewinding here as we are going through our spiel, as you can see, Loud is doing really, really, really good. Zeta kind of got a hiccup there towards the later half of the match, and I think it's because their tower went down. Over there, there's a system because Penny has experience level 10 and the Juju is level 9. They have bounties on their head, so if you end up taking them down and you can go for them, you'll get more XP for doing so. So Loud is obviously creeping, and they should win this match. They're way, way leveled up, and it's all about trying to stay in control. Okay, how much was that? 200 XP for taking down the Kenji. I get it. So it looks like we're about to see the first interesting, important fight here. And leading into this kaiju fight, it's all about getting that experience and trying to be stronger than the team, right? Because you want to fight around this. So it should be Loud's kaiju. If they take it down, they get a crap ton of experience. So Loud is doing a good job at keeping them away from that kaiju spawn in 5 seconds. 2 of Zeta's team is spawning in right now. And yeah, I want to see how much the kaiju gives. So they contest it in the middle. Penny is still power farming, almost max level there. The power discrepancy is insane. And the enemy team, yep, Oh my goodness. Loud's team took down the Kaiju. Look at the power imbalance here. I think of a lot of it has to deal with the tower that they took down. But you can obviously see how good like Penny is at like a laning brawler, right? With the splash damage from the coins of her basic attack, it's insane. But obviously we have Loud taking the very first game there by destroying that like nexus, whatever you want to call it, at the end. Fairly interesting, if you ask me. I kind of like the idea. I think a lot of people, when they go into this, they're just going to want to go for kills. But I think kills don't amount to much. They don't give you that much XP. All it really does is give you, like, control. A little bit better control. So, like, your laners can, like, hold down and kill more robots, right? So we see a shift, right? We have Levy, the Amber perspective, which we've had the entire game, is now going to be more so like a laner and is going to be going up against the Penny here. And you'll see just how good Penny is. Like, I think Penny is really going to be good in this mode. 3 shots, the whole wave is gone. Now, I can't really see, I guess I can see it now, how the super charges. So damage to the enemy unit, and I believe damage to the robots is going to be helping you charge up your super, which is interesting. But it looks like Levy kind of learned from the last game. Control is a lot more important, like I was saying before. I don't know if I got to finish my thoughts on that, but kills I don't think amount to a lot. It's just control. A lot of this game mode, a lot of people are going to go into trying to get kills, like I was saying. But I think the best way to go about it is just like power farming, trying to out-level your other team, right? The team that you're going up against. And then having like a power hold over that Kaiju spawn in the middle. And then, of course, going for that tower. I think the tower gives more XP to your robots, I believe, and your team once you destroy the tower. So we can see Levy doing a much better job at like power farming here. And then another key point is if you're close by your team that is taking down things, so like if you're close to your jungle there in the middle, you'll get some XP by like being close around the units going down. But we're heading into it. Juju and Levy, a 2 XP power difference there. So the leveling is so dang important. I want to see Levy take down someone. How much is it going to be? Okay, plus 40. So I guess it's like decent XP for taking down another unit, like an enemy teammate, but it doesn't give like a crap ton, you know what I mean? It gave 40, and I think each unit, each robot gives like 15 or something like that. So a robot wave of XP, roughly. So it's more so important just to power farm, right? 1 robot gives 35. Oh, what I'm seeing, we saw 35. It's dependent on the robot's like size. I think the small little guy gave 17. The middle puncher robot gave 35. And then I'm guessing that like mouse robot gives quite a bit. But we're seeing the very first hypercharge being procced out. Trying to control these lanes. The tower is down. I think, yeah, I didn't see them actually take it down. But the level difference here, the actual like way that Levy went about it this time around was much, much better, right? Just power farming. But I think it's important now, from what I've seen from the games, is you need to fall back, you need to try to control them, but like as soon as the Kaiju spawns, you really got to take that thing down because the XP that it grants is really, really good. And the funny thing is it's not about DPS. Damage doesn't matter whatsoever. It's literally who can get the last hit. Yeah. 250 XP for the Kaiju, a massive power swing there. So Zeta's team now is power level 10, power level 12, and 13. So they're dealing massive damage compared to Loud this time around. And then the wave is just like, since you're more powerful, you'll be able to take down the enemy robots that spawn out quicker. And the enemy team is going to have a way more difficult time defending. It's like literal virtual showdown power cubes above your head. The more levels you have, the more damage you're going to deal. So going into that final game, if you have more XP and you're higher level, you're going to win in the end. It's pretty dang interesting if you ask me. It's kind of this weird like idea where we're so dang used to in Brawl Stars. Yeah, there's some game modes that are more objective based, like Brawl Ball and stuff like that. There's an important objective, but a lot of it is, the importance is like control, right? And a lot of that control comes from taking down enemy units, right? Your team, like a big portion, a big deal for Brawl Stars is to kill the enemy units. It helps you gain control in those modes, like in Heist and stuff like that. But in this, there's this like sense of it, like importance around objectives instead of going for kills. Yeah, control is important, like controlling your jungle and whatnot, but like especially these side lanes, it's so much more important to farm and to slowly chip away at the tower so you can get a higher XP advantage going into late game, which we're already seeing that with Loud, right? Looks like the Juju did a good job at just being around a lot of kills on the map and getting all the way to level 4 already and a death there. And now that I'm seeing it, you know, like going for kills, like you don't get a crap ton of XP for it, but you're denying a lot of XP for the person that you end up killing, right? Look at all that kill, that XP that came his way, I think for a double kill. And I think maybe because they're higher level, right? We have the Melody taking down, I think, 2 units, and 181 XP went to Levy here. And now that mouse robot gave 75, so a lot of XP just came his way. Oh my goodness. You know, it's going to be fun trying to kind of figure what gives the most XP, what's going to be important for you to do. Because I really don't know how that Juju went like such a crazy advantage right off the get-go. Because he was level 5 in comparison to like, I think a laner that was level 2. So maybe kills are important. Maybe Juju as like the jungle just did a better job at like being around a lot of things that died for the team. I don't know. It's really interesting though. But we have Levy here from his perspective just power farming. He's made his way all the way to level 6. And it looks like Zeta is doing a little bit better than the major or the Loud team, right? I think the Charlie and the Kenji are like the jungles, right? Doesn't look like they're farming as well, but I think it's because they have to take down those robots in the middle, and it might be hard to do it alone. And I think that's why we haven't really seen Juju that much in this lane, which she is a laner, but I think she's been helping out a lot more with the robots in the middle with the jungle and gaining XP from that. Maybe that's why she had such a huge level advantage in the beginning. Either way, it's going to be hard to like figure out what's like the most important things to do here. I would say Loud is doing a tiny bit better here. In terms of damage to towers, both towers are down. So the only thing left to kill is that, like, what would you call it? I don't even know what the name is. I'm sure there is a name for it. But, like, the final boss in the at the base, right? The thing you have to kill to win. All right, so we have 9-9 to 8 versus 6-9 and 8. So Zeta is really, really, really going to want to have control and kill the Kaiju because Loud is in the lead by quite a bit, it looks like. So we'll see what ends up happening over this final fight with the Kaiju. Okay, it's going to be spawning in 4 seconds. Zeta did a good job. They did a double takedown into the Kaiju spawn, so they have to take it down super, super fast before they come back. Get it, get it, get it. Nice. And look at that swing. Now Zeta has the lead. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they're going to want to take care of the creeps or the robots that are at their base and then slowly push up, mounting their waves. And I think Loud is just meant to defend now. Zeta's doing a really good job of just absolutely destroying them as they get into lane. Yo, I thought Loud was going to win that, but that like Kaiju swing was really important. And you can see the difference, like the advantage of power. But it might, Firecrow might be able to take down Levy there. Ooh, he's pushing in. How big of a difference is power going to be? Levels, we'll see. Because Loud isn't doing too bad at like pushing them back. It's not like they, by default, because they're higher level, are able to take down that final base, right? The tower. This is really, really interesting. Okay, they're getting rid of the robots. Amber seems to be pretty decent at this, dealing some good damage. I really think Penny is going to be like phenomenal though, because she can deal damage to those towers with her mortar plus the splash damage taking down the units. It's going to be so good. Okay, we're finally getting some damage on the boss base of Loud, but it looks like Loud was able to get a little bit of damage on Zeta's base as well. But the power difference is just like tipping immensely in scale, and it looks like another Kaiju spawns late game. So 2, and then Zeta was able to get that one as well, I think. Yeah, the power imbalance is just slowly shifting in Zeta's favor. We have Melody completely maxed out. You can't go beyond 15 in that game. Yo, that's pretty interesting. Holy crap. So we saw a complete round of the Brawl Arena gameplay here between Zeta and loud. Super, super interesting. Really curious as to what you guys have to think about this. I think this has quite a bit of potential. As to like what you do it for, I'm not sure if this is like trophy based or anything like that, or this is just like a fun event to start off with. I think it might be that, but it seems really, really fun. Now, I do want to mention this is day 1. Day 2, they had some people from Tribe, the content creators, taking on some creators from 100 Thieves in the exact same game mode. I just wanted to hone in on this one, seeing that I'm not trying to be mean, but these guys are pro players, and I wanted to see some like higher level gameplay as to the potential for the game mode. And as I'm recording this video, in a few minutes, day 3 of Brawl Cup is going to be airing here. So I'm assuming, just based on what has happened for these last 2 days, there should be some sort of sneak peek footage of Brawl Arena again, I think. But I could be wrong about that. But we'll have to see. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Super, super interesting. I'm excited. But we'll see you in the next one. Adios. Take care.